locked into the NFL on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Detroit Lions. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
2-1-2 teams, each hoping to get back to 500, and we're underway in Week 4. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Devon Kennard with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. And they went empty backfield, and because of that, nobody was there to pick up the blitz.
And you know that offenses, when they go with the empty backfield, they have different things designed on every play to try to account for things. But what people often forget, defense is audible as well. And a lot of times when they see an empty backfield, they audible right into a blitzing situation.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Lions will take over. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Out of the the gun. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Powell. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
10 more there and another first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now a play fake here on first down. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the former Super Bowl MVP Malcolm Smith. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Defense.
Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. What? Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards. McKinnon. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs. On the defensive side of the ball, here are the starters for Detroit. They are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
They've established themselves pretty well throughout this season. But boy, what a competitive group of people. They do not like that ranking they have now because they think that they're better, and they're out to prove it again in this game.
On play action, now Garoppolo. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Zach Kerr coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Both players had a shot at that one. Neither can get it, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's McKinnon. And he's got this down to the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And that continues, could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So after the run by McKinnon, here's 1st and 10. And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 0-0 our score. We're back to the Motor City after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football, and they've got it here with a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Breida. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. That is caught at the 7. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Garoppolo looks to throw. This is caught. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. In for the score. And the Niners are able to cash in for 6.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. Gould with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So the drive there took 6 plays, and the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. Gold now out to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the former Super Bowl MVP Malcolm Smith. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. Short throw pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Gold to add the extra point. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's completed 4 passes so far in this game. The issue is 2 of them have been to the guys in the wrong color jersey.
So I'd say there's a little bit of clouded vision, right? Sometimes he sees clearly, sometimes he doesn't. I know on the sideline they'll be going over things and talk about what the coverages are and what they're seeing. So you used to look at the snapshots. Now you look at the Microsoft Surface Pro. He's got to analyze what he's seeing and be more accurate with the ball.
After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Throw complete there, Rodgers. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll bring up a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first.
Here we go. Grand 38. Grand 38.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. And he's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shots.
The Lions turned away on 4th down, and the 49ers are going to get the football back. Well, down 2 touchdowns already. I guess they felt they needed to go for it, but still early, still first half.
I think conventional wisdom says, look, as you pointed out, you got a whole half to play. Hang in there. Don't give up any more points in this situation. Do a little adjusting at the half and come out ready to go. But sometimes those coaches can just sense their team. Maybe they're a little flat or they need a little extra inspiration. And he decided to go for it there to try and kickstart things.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Here's Garoppolo to throw. And able to find Garcon. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. On 1st down, Garoppolo. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Now a handoff looking right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And they'll go on the ground. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And oh, this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. Touchdown, 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo with his 2nd touchdown pass of this first half. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Gold now out to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Just 11 seconds to go in the half as they have it 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Rodgers. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. So we have, due to time constraints, we move you forward into both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of the defense.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 yards through the air on a first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Here we go!
Now they try the right side here. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Here we go!
They'll look to throw. Fighting it off. Completes it to Powell. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drives exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They run once more with McKinnon. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. McKinnon fitting in nicely as the feature back in this 49er offense. He's back there again now on first down. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. And now it's second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Christian Jones in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be 4th down. So here come the Lions now. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Garoppolo on first down. Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. Garoppolo now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10. Play action. Garoppolo. Throw left side, caught by Goodwin. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the 4th and final quarter. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Breida. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Well, a clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
Garoppolo now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now McKinnon. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Niners on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. They run with Breida. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 18 yards there and a first down. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
They run it with McKinnon. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Jerick McKinnon, his first touchdown on the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns, running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone. We saw evidence of that on that play.
Gold with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that one, an 8-play drive, it spans 75 yards, and it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. Gold now out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Dancing to his left. He finds an opening past the 40. And he's going to get this to the 40-yard line.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Cassius Marsh in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile.
Here we go. Grand 38.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags.
Personal
This
foul.
is going to get him a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
First down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Solomon Thomas in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense?
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They're going to look to throw. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Here we go. What?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go. What? 90.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Howell on the catch. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A good pickup there, a 22. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Come on, let's go. What? 90.
Back to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as well.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will cut the lead down to 3 scores at 24. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And the 49er hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds and keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the 49ers, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll have another road date next week with the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants.